Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Spooked
taking all the
Coast to
glory.
Coast. Hey, it's
I feel
kind
like
of
we need
strange.
I think we need to pivot.
No, it's not only that. I'm
That's
not
what
used
it
to
is.
seeing us so big.
We're very widescreen right now.
So we are representing the Spook Coast to Coast gang ourselves as Jen and Mondo wearing the beautiful Huntrix shirts. If you guys haven't seen,
Oh my god, this is such a comfortable shirt. I love the shirt, and I like
K-pop Demon Hunters,
That
amazing show or
Yes.
movie. Sorry,
I love that movie.
Kids love it.
Hey y'all.
Yeah, and Joy and Joey, they're out doing their thing. So
They left me.
I
hope you're listening because y'all left me. Okay.
We're taking the reins tonight,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have a phenomenal show. Also, if you are a fan of football or soccer, Spain is now your FIFA World Cup champions.
They just won.
Officially just happened as of right now.
This is what Mondo does in the background. Y'all just don't know this.
A majority of the time, yes.
He's watching something back there.
Yes,
He's
so
tuned into all the sports.
I am in tuned.
Exactly.
Yvette, thank you guys. Hey, Married with Paranormal, how's it going, guys?
Do another live so I can hang on there. That was fun. I was on vacation watching you guys do your thing in the cemetery, so that was cool.
Yes. So, and ourselves, we had a chance to investigate some of our old stomping grounds yesterday. We had a blast, so can't wait to talk about that with our guests that we have coming up. So, babe, why don't you tell the good folks about our good friend Tim?
Yes, so tonight we have Tim Sudano from Paranormal Insight. Tim is a paranormal, he hosts a paranormal podcast, and it's Paranormal Insight. You can catch it on YouTube, and he goes there every week, Thursdays, sometimes live, sometimes they're pre-recorded, but he still airs them on Thursdays. And before embarking on podcasting journey, he had a very diverse career path. So he was a private investigator, and then went on to NASA, I think. I don't know how exactly, but we're going to get into that. And, I think the PI, I want to know if that helped you in a way to conduct your investigations, right? He does residentials. Mm-hmm. He is based out of California. So let's bring on Tim.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Tim.
How's it going?
Good. Also, if you want to put the link, I'll do it.
I
think it's in the description, but I will do it myself. Here again.
Yeah, so guys, Tim has actually had us in his show.
So that was a good show.
Getting to talk with you, and now you
and now you're here with us.
You're here with us. Appreciate that.
No problem, man. I'm happy to see you guys again.
Yes, we're happy to see you, and I love talking paranormal with the paranormal peeps and getting your theories and stuff like that along with us. So it'll be a very interesting.
That's what's cool about me doing this. One of my favorite things is getting the insight, if you will.
I like that.
The other folks' insight, because here how we do it in Miami, it may not be the same as how you guys do it over there. Obviously, we learned that from Joy and Joy, but getting the perspective of other folks and kind of getting bits and pieces of them, how they do it, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, me too. It's fascinating to make those connections and see what you're doing the same and what you're doing different. So it's really cool. I like that too.
Yeah, definitely. So I know. So like we said, we find you on Paranormal Insight, but you also are you the founder or head member of a team, right? You have a team named S.C.A.R.I. Well, I pronounce it scary, but
that's it. You're absolutely correct. S.C.A.R.I. I'm the lead investigator / founder, co-founder actually. And the other co-founder, he passed in 2021. So not because of the pandemic, by the way, but other complications with his health. But tell
me what is it? What's the what is it? Seekers?
Okay. So I'll spell it out for you. I turn around, but I'm not sure. because it's on the back of my shirt. So it stands for Seekers of California, for Ethereal, spelled AE, research and investigation.
Nice.
That's what it stands for.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks to the chat for saying hi to me, by the way. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes. And then Married with Paranormal, they sub. Well, please check them out. They're awesome people. Johnny and Tabitha. They're up in Ohio.
Yes.
Ohio. Hey, my grandmother's from Ohio. Right on.
There you go.
So I have a couple of cousins up there. Maybe I can visit them and hang out with Married with Paranormal. That'd be fun.
Yeah, man.
They're awesome folks, and what drew me in automatically was the name. I love that show.
That's fantastic.
You have this kind of logo too.
Hey.
That's awesome.
So let's start with your career path, because like I said in the beginning, you were a private investigator. And was it for police or was it private? I mean, obviously private, but like anybody can hire you, or
I was available for public, domestic stuff. People needed a background check done, that because to go to the police to do it, the backlog is insane. So that's why they go to PIs, private investigators. So they go to me for small things that the police would do for free if there was any sort of criminal intent. If there wasn't any obvious criminal intent, then the police wouldn't touch it at all. So you go to the PI and we do our stuff. That was fun. It was very first thing I did right out of high school is I did PI work.
Oh, that's so cool. I would have done that. You know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to be like one of those secret shoppers, because I was always like finding people steal shit and all this crap, because you think like one of them, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know what you're doing. And then
I'm with you. I'm with you.
My do-over in life would have been a firefighter.
Oh, nice career path.
Yeah.
Intense training. I mean, it's similar to the military, because you have to be able to not only handle your own body expertly, but you need to throw someone over your shoulders and be able to carry them around like it's nothing. That's why a lot of those dudes are pretty, built. It's an intense job.
Yeah, it is.
It's very intense, cool. But I mean, definitely rewarding and a sad. You gotta have a strong mentality.
You really do.
Because if I see anything with like kids or something, I'm like, I'll break down. Maybe if I would have done it when I was younger,
you would have been numb to it by now.
I know, which is I don't know how I like that too, because I was always a big sucker for like a whole bunch of shit. So I like stuff like that, but then it's a tough job.
Yeah, so, I hear you. Yeah, that's half the reason I went into PI work was I didn't, there was that one-on-one connection with your client, but at the same time, usually it was one of three main case types that came through the door, and it was a little heartbreaking, but it wasn't a life-threatening peril thing, because I didn't have the confidence I would later get to handle that type of situation, like an armed robber or something like that, or fire, going to a burning building would wasn't in the cards for me that early in life,
Oh.
So
did you was there any case that was like unusual that you worked on, you were like, that was weird, like
you want to hear about the case that got me out of PI work?
Yes. Please.
Okay. Now, every PI to one degree or another has this story, so it's going to match a lot of different PI stories. But it's not because it's a ripoff; it's because it happened, especially back in my generation, more often than not. In fact, a lot of PIs don't do surveillance so much anymore, at least out here. But this is when surveillance was still a thing, and. So I had a boss. I was working for him. I was covering the night shift on this one surveillance, cheating spouse. And we had the thing rigged for video inside the house. But this is before wireless transmissions and stuff. So it was just a camera sitting on a vent or a closet, or I can't remember what. But we also had the place wired for audio, so that we could transmit out to a car. And I was parked like maybe 4 or 5 houses down from our target. Now, this, for whatever reason, was in a development. So half the street was built, powered, all that fun stuff. The other half of the street was unfinished. There were empty homes. I mean, it was just foundations and stuff and streetlights, and that was it. No sidewalks, nothing. So it was a weird, surreal kind of look, because finished houses on one side, frames, just house frames on the other. And hey, everyone in chat, how's it going? Hit that button, please. Yes, please do. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Anyway, so I take over like around 9 p.m. and I'm going for a couple hours, and they're out. Is David here?
Yes, David from Down the Rabbit Hole.
Oh, that's a good old friend of ours.
Yeah, me too. I love David. He's awesome.
Emphasis on old. No, just like.
Oh, there he is. I just saw you, D. How's it going, David? Good to see you, man. So anyway, watching this place for a little while, and it's silent because they apparently went out to dinner, the husband and his mistress, and then they drive in about 9:30. So I finally, I get to put the cans on, the headphones, and listen to the conversation, usual back and forth, very smoochy, lovey-dovey crap. And then things move on, as you might expect, and it's pretty obvious I'm going to get the audio I need, and hopefully the video too, in order to move a divorce proceeding, further on. It plays like something out of a film almost. It was, they're doing the thing. She's being vocal. Actually, they're both pretty vocal in the throes of their lovemaking. And I got my headphones on, and I catch in my rear view mirror, on the side mirror, a flash behind me. It's like, it was weird. And it looked like it was skittering along and moving. And I catch it again. What the heck is that? And wham, wham, wham on my window. It's the wife of the husband who's in the house. And I have my window down, right? Because it's hot. So, and I get startled. The cans go cockeyed, and you can hear them, right? And she loses it. And if she bursts in there and starts killing people or announcing she's going to kill people, there goes her case. She gets arrested. I could probably go down as an accessory if I don't stop her. So I have to, she hears them, loses her, charges toward the house, and I have to go rip all this equipment off me that I'm kind of half covered in, make sure it's going, and run after this crazy woman. Understandably upset, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I get her emotional state. No, absolutely. But I have to go after her, and I have to grapple her. And I'm like 19. And she's like 30, 35, something like that. And I have to grapple her, and I have to restrain her, and I have to kind of work her off the front of this building because she's got her hand on the door, and now we're making noise at the front door.
Oh my God.
So I finally I tried to be as gentle as possible. I pry her hands off this door. She's screaming, "Get out of here, you son of a," and she's going nuts. And I pry her off the door. I get her about to the sidewalk, and that's when the door flies open. Oh. Husband in a robe and his little girlfriend kind of peeking over her shoulder like that. Oh, and she loses it again. It's everything I could do to keep them separated. And then I had this burst of dominance, I guess you would call it. And I said, "Everyone, shut the hell up. You go inside. You get back to my car right now. You're going to settle this in court, I think." And that's it. And I said, so, jig is up, yada, yada, yada. And I kind of half carry her down the block. I get her to my car. She finally breaks down. I say, we got everything we need. So there is that. I'm sorry it fell apart, but yada, yada, yada. And she says, I need to talk to your boss. And so I call my boss, and we're with her. We get back to the office. I have to drive her because she's too upset to drive. We get back to the office. My boss meets me there, and it's like 11 midnight by the time we get her calmed down, get the situation explained to her as the next steps, and she takes a cab home. Hands me my boss. I'm 19. He says, kid, normally I wouldn't offer this, but do you want a drink? Yeah. I said, normally I wouldn't accept it, but yes, I do. I'll take a drink. So he poured me a glass of something, and I said to him, you know what? I think this is my last job because I don't want to do this anymore. He says, well, it doesn't happen that often. I says, yeah, my luck it would. And so that was it for me in the PI game.
Well, I'm telling you, I thought this was going to take a darker turn. I thought she was going to do something to herself, and then that's what caused it.
No, it was surprising. She was when we went to court for the case, because I'm still obligated. When we went to court for the case, she was surprisingly composed. I was surprised at how calm she was. And her lawyer handled everything beautifully, and she got, did I lose you?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Pardon me. She got everything she wanted out of the proceedings. And she was surprisingly calm when it was her time to go up on the stand. She recounted everything. She says, "Yes, I was very upset at the time, as you might well imagine." It sounded rehearsed, like her lawyer walked her through it, but I was really surprised at. And she was very cordial with me. So I thank you so much for your assistance, and shook my hand, and then she walked away with her lawyer. But yeah, that was the last thing I ever did as a PI.
Wait, so did you know she was around the area when that happened?
No, that was the surprising part. She wasn't supposed to be there. She was going to visit her mother or her sister or something way out of town. And then she decided to watch me watch the husband.
Yeah. That was hilarious. That poor lady. But she knew. She knew what I guess she was going to get, but yeah.
Yeah, but she was still so shocked and hurt. Yeah. She wanted to be wrong so bad. So
yeah, poor thing. Kind of like it reminds me of, remember Cheaters? I used to love watching that show. Man.
I know of it. Yeah, I watched an episode or two. Sure.
Just like that. That shit is crazy. It was a long time. Let me see. How did you find this? Oh, okay. So, like how I mentioned before, is there anything in particular that maybe doing like that type of work that you use now, or you think you find yourself kind of using for like paranormal investigations?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. When I was first training, in my first year, I did a lot of background stuff.
I still watch the replay.
I'm sorry. I'm just watching Married with Paranormal's comment. That's awesome.
Fun to watch, but not if you're in it.
Not fun to be part of it. Excuse me. So when my first year, it was just me just kind of figuring out the game, asking a lot of questions. During, I think it was like a fall quarter, I took a criminology course, specifically one in scene diagnostics and detection and stuff like that. And apparently a lot of police officers have to take the continuing education courses, especially detectives, in order to keep their,
licenses up.
Not so much keep their licenses, but keep themselves up to date on newer techniques that come up for an investigation, new tools that might be present, that type of thing. So I had a class full of cops, and it was fantastic. The teacher taught some cool stuff. For them, it was old hat. And there were a few new things that cropped up for them, but I learned a ton from the fellow students who were police detectives. It was great. I got an incredible education in that quarter, and I learned a whole lot. And at the end of that class, we do a scene breakdown, and the instructor, also a former police officer, I keep calling them cops, I should call them police officers. He does 3 or 4 mock scenes in either a classroom or an outdoor environment on the campus. And we have to diagnose the scenes as best we can, run it in a person, eyeball analysis. And it was because of those other police officers I worked with that I did really good in that class. And I learned how to break things down in a crime scene. And it was fun. It was cool. And that's kind of what got me into PI work a little bit stronger. It's, oh yeah, I can't wait to do a break. It never happened. And it was never, it's not like on TV where they invite PIs to do breakdowns on murder scenes. That's so isolated. So, but still, I learned quite a bit. And yeah, I do apply all those questions, my questionnaires based on that. My personal observations in the field when we have an investigation, like something personal would happen over here. It's like, or I'd see some. It was the last case or the case before. We had an inkling that there was a psychological element to our client's makeup, and that they had been hospitalized before because of some psychological issues. Was it that one or the one before that? But anyway, they were what I saw off the one side though was drug paraphernalia. Nothing minor. It was for nothing minor, nothing major rather. But it was like a bowl, little glass bowl or something like that. And I was like, oh, you still have to note these things because, okay, where are they coming from? Are they telling me everything, or are they just making stuff up and get a little flighty or whatever? So, yeah. I hope that made sense.
No, yes. Well, yeah, we had like something similar like that for a residential, and even though it was nothing major like that, like weed, I guess. The person who was bothering them, the person who was bothering them was grandma, and grandma didn't like the extracurricular activities happening in the house, so she was making it herself known. So
okay. Yeah, I've run into a couple of those myself. Yeah, it was. I think it was a grandma too for me. Yeah, that's interesting. Grandma was
very old school, very strict.
Yeah. Actually, it was the opposite. It was weird. She was kind of hippie, and really into the whole crystal thing, and she dabbled in a lot of really. I wouldn't say she purposely dabbled in like darker aspects of like magic and metaphysics and stuff like that, but at least not from what I understood. She was like, oh, that's cool, let's try it out. That kind of thing, and that could lead down a really slippery slope. And then she passed, and she seemed to have stuck around for a while, and she left something behind in the house that kind of held onto her energy a little bit.
Oh wow! So that's pretty interesting. So how did NASA come into play?
Okay, NASA was okay. I said PI work was my first job, and it was. At the same time, I also worked at NASA because I needed a day job. Because PI work's not every single day. It's here and there. Well, I need you for a weekend. I need you for a Friday. Yada yada yada. But I needed a regular day job, and I happened to get this internship at NASA. And there's a it's called Moffett Field. It's by me, and that's where I worked for 2 years, and I learned a lot there too, probably more than I should have. But because I was the guy I was talking about this with someone else the other day. I was the guy who had to help make copies of all these presentational packages, and they had very specific barcodes on them And we had this huge IBM-based copy machine called the Super Collator or something along those lines. And basically, you fed in the documents, just the pages. This thing runs off a copy, makes a spiral bound thing for it, spits it out the other side. It's really complex, very cool. Color too. Back in the day, that was almost unheard of. Back in 1990. But as I date myself, excuse me. Oh yeah, well, right on. Yeah, well, I'm sorry he's passed. That's cool though. Yeah, NASA's an interesting place to work. You learn like I said, way more than you should. But one of the things about the collator was it jammed every single time, and you only had, because those barcodes, you could only run off a certain number of copies that was required for the meeting. If there was a jam, your boss had to come. Your boss, okay, the honcho of your department had to come down to the copy room, 2 floors down, punch in the little reset code, and walk away. And let you do your thing. So one of the other secretaries clued me in and says, okay, ignore the barcode. You do it like this, and you get it done. And then you include the barcode last, and you have it run it at just as the cover where the barcode actually sits. So I said, and all you got to do is bring it over and just do it manually. Just a little manual thing to open up those ring binder things, those plastic ones. So it was like, and you're done in 5 minutes. I was like, you're awesome. Thank you so much. So
they should have just told you that from the beginning. Like, what the
yeah, exactly. But apparently they don't want you to do that.
Well, I can see, because then it's copies that you don't know that.
Well, that was the weird part, because if something got jammed or messed up, you couldn't start over in the middle of the document like you can today. You had to start completely over, which was nuts. But you still got to look at all the discarded pages, because we throw them into a big bin to be taken away to be shredded.
Right.
So, but it was open. It was not like it's locked up like it is today. I mean, the security was insanely low in that area. We were working on some incredible things that I only saw crop up like in the last 10 years. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It's like, hey, I know what that project is.
Is there anything that what was, I guess, the most interesting thing or like surprising thing you stumbled upon while working there?
You know what? I walked into a demonstration.
That's them calling you.
It's 3:30. I'm sorry. Yes, that is the government calling me. Tim, stop talking about this. It's not. It's an alarm I have, and I can't remember why I have it, but I do have it. But hopefully it's not important. What happens at 3:30 today? But yeah, so I walked in on a demonstration, and it was because and it was in this cool, very nice, I have to say, little amphitheater that we had there. And or wait, was that there, or was that at one of the air bases? Now I'm drawing a blank on that. Anyway, we interacted with a lot of air bases too. But anyway, so there's cool little theaters there, and one of the clients prior to the meeting that was going on that I walked into left their valise behind, this little briefcase thing. And I said, okay, I'll sneak in and get it. And I was super quiet and went like that. Okay, gentlemen, watch this. And, everyone's looking at this thing, and there's this huge, it looks like a really fantastical laser cannon from like Star Wars or something like that. And it's huge and it's fanciful. It's got a lot of it looks right out of a sci-fi flick, and it doesn't look real. It looks like a prop. But okay, gentlemen, watch this. And this very well just decorated officer, I think he was like a lieutenant colonel, and I forget which branch too. Probably Air Force. And he takes this 50-cent piece and goes flick, and it wings up over the audience, and this thing is on apparently, and it sticks there. It just sticks and it spins right in space. right there over the
Right.
audience. Then he says, now watch this. And they take this big thing like a turret, like a gun, and they turn it back and forth and move the coin over the audience. It was a tractor beam.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
It was pretty cool. It's like, yeah, I gotta go. Okay, gotta go. Yeah, I shouldn't have seen that. But that was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome.
You think, I mean, well, do you think they have used anything like that? I mean,
that was a final model being demonstrated. So it was a prototype that was functional. I mean, as far as I could tell, I mean, it was only moving a 50-cent piece, and but still, I think the objective was for it to be able to move something upward as heavy as a tank and move it and manipulate it any way they wanted it to, like it weighed nothing. So they just used the 50-cent piece as a demonstration. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So is it in operation? I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Like, do you think it would have been able to like move a plane?
Oh, sure. I think so. Well, like I said, it was supposed to be able to move a tank, and that's way heavier than most jets. So,
okay. Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, they have a whole bunch of stuff that, bro, we don't even know.
Yeah,
they have a lot of toys that we don't know. Oh, look, see, you
just said that.
Yeah. Like Balazar
WP's on it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, they're way ahead of us than what we're thinking.
Oh, at least 40 years by a lot of estimates. Yeah.
Yeah. If we can think about it, they've already done it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's neat. And you wouldn't. So why did you leave there?
My internship ended basically. So I had a 2-year stint that I was available for, and that was my max. So that's what I took it to the max.
And you couldn't like do something else there, or?
I tried to. I love working on the base. That was amazing. It was so much fun, and I took all the tours too, because they had a tour of they had all these. I think they still got them out there. These different Saturn rocket stages along the side of the base. And it's part of a walking tour. This is the first stage. This is the second stage. And then they walk into this really cool interactive museum. And yeah, I loved it. I went there all the time, and I got to meet some astronauts, some actual astronauts that were there. We have a shuttle flight simulator there. That was cool. So I got to meet some astronauts that I'd see on TV. I was, oh my gosh, you were on mission 186. That was cool. And I even got to fly the space shuttle simulator. That was cool too. I actually landed it too.
I always wanted to do that when I was little. I always wanted to do the gravity tank, the anti-gravity tank, or.
Oh no! This is just basically a large video game version of the space shuttle thing. It's just super. It rocks and it'll jitter and all that stuff, but they will. But they had. Sorry, go ahead.
No. She was saying with the whole like the G-force kind of like.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. I don't think we had one at that base. I know we have them at Travis and other stuff, but this is an actual. Like it's a big video game simulator of the mission, but it's
kind of like what they pilots use.
Yeah, exactly what the pilots use, except for the space shuttle, and it's huge. And there was an opportunity for a few of us to use up the extra hours that were available because the astronauts had finished their training successfully for whatever maneuvers they had to do on the next mission. And they got like a 5 out of 5 tries. It was great. And they were happy, but they had like 26 extra hours available. And if you don't spend the money, you don't get that money in the next, right? That's how. That's for sure. So in order to do that, they said, well, how'd they put it? It was crazy, basically, and there was a word for it, and it escapes me. But we were basically double testing, like retesting everything, calibrating. That's what they call it. They call it after mission calibration. So we got to fly it, like a lot of guys in my building and ladies too. It was great. And they were rocking around because they put us in fake rainstorms and snowstorms, and the goal is to land the shuttle. And most of them crashed it. Now it gets messy when you crash it because the thing goes cockeyed and rumbles, and it's really intense. I managed to land it, so I'm pretty happy about that.
That's cool. So how did anything or everything lead into paranormal? Was it something when you were younger also, or happened later on in life?
Kind of happened throughout my life. I had 5 major events happen to me that got me into investigating. My first one was when I was a little kid, 3 or 4, give or take, and I'm asleep in bed, door open back when I was little, and suddenly the living room light pops on. And in walks this very pretty blonde lady with is like I think they call it a bob or a page boy kind of cut back in the day, and she looked like a decade earlier, like that was where she was from, like from the 60s versus the 70s. Not to date myself, but this was like 75. So I'm like 3 or 4, and I'm asleep. And the light pops on, and in she walks, and she's a little bit see-through, but I can see every detail about her. And she looks like she's a air steward or stewardess, as we used to call
it. I don't know why I was thinking flight attendant.
Flight attendant, yeah. Oh, yeah, psychic. I like it. That's cool. Flight attendant.
I was like, flight attendant.
Yeah. Nice, dude. That's cool. That's why you want him as a paranormal investigator. Those insights.
I swear to God, I'm learning from her.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So it was very specific too. The skirt was dark blue, and it wasn't floofy or anything. It was kind of like a straight. Is that an A-frame skirt?
Yeah, A-line.
A-line skirt, and it was high, but it wasn't like a mini. It was like just above the knees. And she had this vest on that was green on one side and blue on the other. And then she had a white top underneath, and I think it had long sleeves. It was kind of blousy. And
it sounds like definitely sounds like a uniform.
Yeah, it was a uniform of some sort. And she walks in, and she looks at me directly, puts her hands on her hips, and starts. That's exactly what I saw and exactly what I heard. No noise. But she was pissed that I was there for whatever reason. And I freak out, and I bury myself under my magical sheets and covers because apparently they're going to protect me. The childhood force field, the blanket. So nothing. I hear nothing, and I got my eyes closed, so just screwed shut, right? And I chance it. I open my eyes. I can still see the light from the living room shining through my door. And I fairly slowly take the covers down, and I chance it, and I open my eyes, and she is right here. Now, mind you, I'm prone. And she has gone so far as to tilt her head like this to orient herself with me, like that, yelling at me, shaking her finger at me, and I let out a howl, and I went through her. I'll never forget that. I went through her, and there was this shock of cold that went around me as I ran through her and went and got my mom. She comes back with me, and I it took forever to get me to sleep, but my mom asked me the question, why is the living room light on? I said, the lady turned it on. That's why I called it. I called it the lady.
The lady.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady turned it on. And back in the 70s, there was a building code that the switches were set higher than what they are now. So 3-year-old me couldn't even jump and turn this thing on. So that's what she said. It wasn't your dad. Your dad didn't get up to get something to eat or drink. No, it was the lady.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. And she goes and she turns the light off and says, sleep well, yada yada, and goes to bed. Never mind. I'm up the rest of the night until exhaustion finally takes me, but I never saw her again.
No.
So that was my very first experience. It was a ghost experience. And then later on, I had this one-off bout of precognition, very specific. High school. And there are 5 more. There are 3 more that go with this, but I'll stop with this story. I'm in high school. It's toward the end of my junior year, I think. And you know what? I don't know about your high school, but at the end of the year, the teachers don't care. It's like, it's free time. We're all just going to hang out for a week and do whatever you want. So the PE teacher in this case just, okay, it's flag football. Go nuts. It throws the kid out in the middle of the field. We pick it apart, divvy up teams, and play flag football for a minute. And me and my buddy, we'll call him Dave. His name isn't really Dave, but we'll call him Dave. Are tired. And it's like, hey, Coach, can we go in early? I know it's 5 minutes before the bell, but we're exhausted and we're getting our asses handed to us on the field. Yeah, go ahead. So I walk in with him, and we're just about the edge of the pitch of this big field. And I hear a set of words. And then I remember I dreamt this entire thing. This wasn't deja vu. I know deja vu. This was specific memory. And I stopped my friend. I go, Dave, check this out. He's going to say F you, because these 2 guys were butting heads on the field. He's going to say F you, is going to shove him. Then the other guy's going to take a swing at him. Then the first guy's going to punch him in the gut. Boom, boom, boom. Happened just like that. Not 5 seconds later. And Dave looked at me like I was a witch, a warlock or something. And he was afraid. He was afraid of me. And he said, how did you do that? So I don't know. I dreamt about it this afternoon or this morning. And he said, oh, and he separated from me for the rest of our high school career.
He said, oh, peace out.
He's out. And,
oh, okay. Interesting.
Avoided me in the hallways, turned around, the whole thing. And I think he started telling stories about what was happening, because a lot of people were just like, I heard some weird stuff, man. I was like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, lotto numbers, please. I wish I played the lotto all the time. Yeah. I love to investigate a school. Oh, me too. Oh, there's crazy stuff that happens at schools. I think it's one that happens in my high school, actually. But
I think schools hold probably one of the most like higher energies. Teenagers,
high school,
very active. Just crazy.
My first case was at a junior college as a paranormal investigator, and it was investigating a legend. This is cool. So we first case ever, and I said, okay. I set my, I had this little team put together, and we had a couple like junior psychics, not like JJ Rose. She's amazing, but they were junior psychics, and they had a little bit of insight, but not much. They were both kind of ghost magnets though. So I was like, okay, well, you got that going for you. At least maybe we'll get some activity. And so I gather them up. I said, okay, here's what's happening. I could not back this story up, but the legend here is, and I had done a ton of research on old police blotters, old newspaper clippings. I mean, I investigated everything about this legend. Now, the legend is, first night, this brand new theater opened on campus. There was at the end of the show, everyone's dressed in tuxes, ladies in gowns, and all that fun stuff. And they at the very end of the show, the lights go up and this young man flags everyone, ladies and gentlemen, let me get your attention, please. He pops out a little box, opens it up, engagement ring inside, gets on his bended knee, and with all the pride he can, not pride, but with everything he can muster, he proposes. And she's like, no.
Oh my God, no.
Ouch. And he tries to play it cool, but he's reported as running off in tears. And no one knows what happens to him. And theater clears out for the most part. A couple of stragglers at the bar that used to be upstairs. And there was a little balcony area. And suddenly, some of those leftover patrons and the bartender up there see this kid dives off the second story, head first into a cement slab outside the thing, and so that was always a legend that hung around that theater on campus. And but again, I couldn't back it up. It's like they hid it or something. It was meant to stay legend somehow, because no newspaper reports, no police blotter reports, nothing at all. So I informed my crew that we do an investigation. It lasts about 3 or 4 hours. And finally, we're doing a final EVP, and we have 2 cameras. One's kind of at the far end of this alcove with this kid apparently took the swan dive, and I'm at the other end with one of the other psychics. So my buddy Henry, he's got the camera recording a psychic. I got my camera recording a psychic. And both of the psychics have voice recorders as well. Well, my psychic asks the question, where are you right now? And she gets a response. You know what? I bet you I can find that for you too, and maybe share it with you. But yeah, here it is. Okay, this is gonna be fun. So if you allow me to share it, I will.
I don't know how to do that. Can you? Do you have a button on
I
your
have
side?
a video file.
No, like, do you have it like on your side? You see present or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I guess hit that.
Oh, okay. Do I want to? Let me look it up. Farrah. Oh wait, no. I got a better idea.
Joy, what's up, yo? Hope you're having a good trip.
Joey. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Okay, here it is. Can you see it? Okay. Oh, let's put it up there.
There you go.
Okay, so this is just a blurred out image of the place where we actually did the investigation. And you know what? I'm going to have a little fun with, there we go. But here's what it was. I hope you all can hear it. If you can't, let me know.
Oh, where you are?
Did you hear that? It's not very clear.
Try it again.
Okay. Now, are you hearing it on the playback, or are you hearing it over my mic?
I think that's on a playback. I want to say.
Okay, I'm going to mute my mic then, so it's not as distorted. Let me know if you can hear it. Here we go.
No, we can't hear it.
No.
Okay, weird. That's strange that it doesn't go. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too distorted. Here we go. We'll try it again.
Oh, where you are?
I'm right here.
Oh, I'm laughing too hard. It says, the entity says, I'm right next to you. Farrah.
Okay, I hear I'm right.
Her. Yeah, names her. We never said our names at all. That's one of my standing rules. We don't mention our names.
Yeah.
He names her. I'm right next to you, Farrah. Oh my God.
Oh.
We dined on that forever. ever. So we got one, our first thing, we got one. It was great. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Dude,
Nice
so
capture.
what do you wait, hold on. Let me enjoy. Do you think, as far as for that story, do you think it's true or?
You know, the fact that we had someone, something, whatever it is you want to call it, walk up and say, "Yep, I'm right next to you, Farrah." I mean, it wasn't a confirmation that it was the swan diver guy, but I mean, something was there, and as far as I could tell, he sounded like a young man to me. So, college age and what have you. So,
so during investigations, do you have a favorite piece of equipment that you like to use that you find yourself always
gravitating towards?
Yeah.
We're kind of old school. We go with infrared cameras typically, night vision, that type of thing. We have a radiation detector / EMF detector. And it's interesting. We've got some interesting hits on that, especially in the radiation band, which is freaking weird. I mean, EMF and radiation kind of go hand in hand, but they're at different spectrums of the EMF field. So when you're detecting hot radiation where there really shouldn't be any, it's kind of interesting and a little concerning. So that's an interesting piece of equipment. But yeah, we tried a I want to go. I gotta get a FLIR. I've been saving up for a FLIR for a while. So
yeah.
So that's my next purchase is a FLIR or a FLIR-like device. And then we toyed with a SLS camera. That was cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we have our XLS camera, and what we mentioned, we investigated last night, and interesting. We got a cool capture. I actually made a little reel. I just haven't posted it yet because I did it earlier this morning.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll tag you in it so you can check it out.
Oh, that'd be cool. Thank you.
What it is, it's the one teacher we invited to investigate with us last night. Next to him, he's standing in between a cabinet and a bunk bed, and then originally I thought it was something climbing up the bunk bed or climbing down from it, but it was the cabinet. But it happens to be on top of that cabinet, which I don't know. That's why I asked you if you took a picture of it so I can include it. But because I didn't take a picture of what it looked like because we were in pitch black. But there was a doll case. There was a doll inside of a wooden glass case, right? And we had the door open. So we've done it before where we investigated. This is a place we frequent, and we put our a DR60 in there and shut it, and the EVPs will come and clear, or we'll put something in there and lock it in there. But this time we had it open, seeing if she would come out or whatever, and we had the XLS pointed at this. And you see something either climbing up or climbing down. I can't really tell, but it looks like it's doing this.
Okay.
Yeah. it's reaching up, go back in or something. It was crazy, but the show we had last night was fucking wild.
We have a funny FLIR story for you. So we're with someone that was using the FLIR because we've never seen it in person before. We've seen it in the shows and stuff, but never in person.
They had just gotten it, so it was a new toy for them.
Yeah, so we were just testing it out with them. So we're walking, and all of a sudden, we're in a wooded area, and we hear something massive coming towards us.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of
crunching,
woods and crunching, and we know it's an animal. Yeah. But we were thinking, man, I thought it was like a hog. That's what I thought it was, a wild hog,
like a boar or something.
Yeah.
And it was quick.
We get those. We have those in Florida. So.
Yeah, we got them out here too. Yeah.
It's coming and it's coming and it's getting closer, and all of a sudden, we end up when we look down and we're shining the light at it. It was an armadillo in the rolling position.
No, it was walking, man. It walked, but it balled up. We startled it, so it kind of it went in a ball, it was like kind of like scary off, and I was like, I can't believe we're scared of this little shit. Like,
That's amazing.
That little thing
it made
made
so
so
much
noise.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure. Going through the forest like that, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot
Good
of fun.
times. That's
But it was
good.
cool because the FLIR showed us that, there's
Yeah,
a
so we
mask
saw it
coming.
on there, and it was so dark, and then we're like, "The hell is that?" So we're kind of like looking on the side, and we're looking at the thing, and we see like a little ball. I'm like,
There you
it's
go.
so cute. Yeah, I want to grab it now.
Yeah, right. It's your buddy.
For real. So,
That's funny.
so I know you do a lot of residentials, right?
Yeah.
Private cases. And like you mentioned with JJ Rose, I know JJ Rose. We'll be having her on the show. I haven't locked in on a date for her yet because we were pretty far in advance in booking, so I kind of want to catch up and then have her set. But I know she's very amazing. She's super awesome, guys. If you please check her out, JJ Rose 777 on YouTube. She has a whole bunch of videos on there, very informational, and yeah, she's a super nice person. So yeah, when you so you do a lot of residence in California, I want to ask you, do you find that there's a certain area that's more active, like like mapped, maybe?
Oh, like town.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's fascinating. The college I talked about, and a number, well, not all of them, but a number of our hauntings happen near orchards or forests or waterways. So it's kind of interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely waterways. Yeah.
Waterways for sure. Yeah, our last one was near a waterway. And that was super intense. And behind that was an old wood orchard. So it wasn't tended anymore, it just grew wild, And so there was a lot of interesting stuff happening there.
I was gonna ask, why orchard? Like,
Well,
the first time I heard that, but what do you think?
There's a few schools of thought. What do I think? JJ tends. I'll tell you what JJ tends to think first. She tends to think it's maybe, not for sure, but maybe elementals at play to one degree or another. For me, I because of the spirits that she identified on this case, my guess is these orchards were tended at one point. They had field hands and yada yada yada, and a lot of these guys died out there to one degree, or were injured and died, or something like that. And that was the last thing they consciously remember. So they go back to it's 4:00.
Yes. Half an hour. Maybe that's what it is.
What's it trying to tell me? Well, at least you're not talking about the NASA stuff anymore, Tim. What was I going to say? But a lot of people, people died in that orchard, like behind this house. So that's what I think it is. I think it might be people who either were, and you got to remember, this is California, like the Wild West back in the day, right? So you sneeze wrong, you get shot. It was pretty serious back in the Old West. And that's where a lot of the spirits we saw in this particular case were taking place. That was their era, was the Old West. Yeah. So, so for me, it was humanoid spirits for sure. We had something weird attached to these people, though. JJ identified it as potentially an ancient deity, or a demigod or something like that. Or something that was given enough power over this family generations back, and it was still lingered, or a piece of it lingered, or something along those lines.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I believe in elementals. We've gone to a place where I've had a few weird instances that happened after visiting a place that they believe in elementals a lot, and they believe in fairies. So in the fae.
Yeah, we were getting a lot of elemental and phase.
And we had the first time ever, and it never happened again, but it was only in that location. We were actually investigating a private house in a house. Weird as heck. But we heard there was a medium, a town medium that's local to that town, Casadega. So it's like the spiritualist capitalist of Florida.
Okay.
So when she heard it, she goes, "Oh, that's just fae. That's just fairies." And I was like, and I'm looking at her like, you know, I gave her the crazy look, like,
yeah, it's like,
and I was like,
she got a little side eye there.
yeah, because I've never heard that. But the thing is, it sounded so crazy. She was running the spirit box, and I was like, in my head, I was like, I've never heard anything sound, and I haven't heard it since. I can't even replicate it, but it sounded like singing. Actually, it was like fairies singing, like you see it in some cartoon. This is exactly what's coming through. And she goes, "Oh, that's just them again." She goes, like, maybe they're following me. And because she's a huge person. I mean, she's not a huge person. No, she's like, she loves like.
She has a huge heart. I fixed it for you.
She does have a huge heart. But she's huge into like fairies and like stuff like that. And I guess maybe they attach to her. I believe they do attach to people stemming off of this whole place. But even after that, I had like 3 dreams, weirdly enough, like way after, but in the span of 6 months, randomly.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about them or anything like that. And they all had to do like fairy related, and they were wild. And I was like, this shit gotta be real. And then the person who went with us is one of our best friends, Joe. And then so every time we will go and investigate in certain areas, not all the time, but the word "fae" will always come up on our obelisk. After that experience, and I'm like, we were looking at each other, and we're like, man, that's kind of weird because it's not normal, you know. It didn't happen before, but it's happened since.
But that's
and not all the time though.
It's me and her will just investigate by ourselves. Nothing.
No, I've gotten fae.
He will investigate by himself. He doesn't get it.
No. Well, I don't know if he's gotten it. I know I have, but I also did have that experience with the dream or whatever. I mean, shit was wild. I don't know.
But yeah, it almost seems like more often than not when the 3 of us are
when we're together, we 100% we get that word.
We get that
every time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially when we're outdoor. When we're outdoor, we get it.
Yeah.
Not inside. Very
okay,
inside.
that makes sense too.
So I believe in faith. So
yeah, fays have a lot of history. I mean, it's hard not to believe in them. One of the interesting misconceptions about fae is, especially fairies per se, fairies are actually, in the Celtic myth anyway, full-grown human-looking people.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the pixies that are the little ones like Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you're dealing with. Did you actually see anything, or did you just hear them?
I didn't see anything there in that location. What I did, I just heard them on the spirit box, right? On the spirit box when I was running, and when the way she uses it like super fast rate. I'm talking about like 100 seconds. Like it sounds crazy, and you can distinctly hear singing and everything. It was crazy. The only thing that happened to me in that house was, and I wasn't expecting it, so we did like a walkthrough, and then right till I got like the last portion, the back end of the house, I remember as soon as I hit the door and I walked into that room, I felt like vertigo. So that was the first place I ever had that kind of happen to me. On top of that too, there was a lot of firsts for me in that location, in that town itself.
Yeah, you hit that spiritual wall. I've had that happen to me a couple of times.
I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was pretty.
It's like walking into a wall full of jello. You can move around, but something is off and it's oppressive and it's, around you and on you and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the SLS, I mean, I kind of love it. I'm glad we got that thing. I'll keep you posted.
Oh, let me ask you a follow-up to that. In your dreams, did you see fairies or pixies?
I did. It's funny. So I did. And it was like if I was in their size or something. Like I wasn't at first, but then I kind of went down to their size. Like very small.
Okay.
And then, but they were hiding themselves from me. and I was kind of like trying to ask some questions or whatever, and there was separate dreams. So it got the first dream was like kind of like I saw them and then they hid from me. And then like the next one randomly happened. It was like a continuation. It was so weird.
Oh wow!
Like it was literally like a continuation. And and I was like, I couldn't. I think I was gonna tell him. I was mentioning because I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell Armando or whatever. Like, and then they said to me, they said, you can tell whoever you want. Nobody's ever gonna believe you. Like, and I was like, what in the fuck? Like, you're so snappy. And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, well, I'm gonna tell them anyways, you know. But they were like hiding from me, and then but I can see them, but not really. And then
yeah, they treated her like an outsider.
It was weird, but they were like messing with me, not messing with me in a bad way. Like they were showing themselves to me, but still kind of like skittish.
Being like little kids about it. It's like run off.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm telling you, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to tell him about this. And then they're like, you tell whoever you want. Nobody will ever believe you. Like, and that's stuff with me. Like, it was so like I remember word for word the way they said it, and I was like, and I just left like I was not relieved, but that left me stunned. Where when I woke up, that's all I can think about. I was like,
crazy. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh wait, Tim. So I wanted to ask you, going back to Jenny's question as far as locations and part of the town and what was similar, you know, in that.
Oh, I had a follow-up question. Maybe you're gonna ask it. Go ahead.
In any of those areas, were there native grounds?
Oh, good question. As far as official native grounds, I mean, technically everywhere was native grounds. If it were a burial ground, I don't think so. The college was an old ranch from antiquity. I mean, almost since the state's founding. So it was an old ranch, lots of orchards and stuff like that, farmland really. But the college became the benefactor, and we actually kept their guest house preserved on camp, or they did on campus. So that's pretty cool. It's like a 200-year-old building just sitting there, and it's still in use. And it was very nice too for a guest house. That thing was insanely fancy. I mean, 2 or 3, 4 bedrooms. I don't know about bathroom facilities back then, but it was pretty intense. So as far as I understand it, no. The college wasn't on that kind of a former reservation, or not even, their lands. It could have been walked through, part of the migrational things that the Native Americans tend to do. The house by the orchard and the river is on this last case. Possibly. I mean, it's a prime location. You're right next to a waterway, and I don't think that's an obstructed waterway. I think it's natural. So that would be a prime location, but that too was an orchard up until about maybe 75, 80 years ago, give or take. So my guess is no, not in, at least not for several decades, maybe even a couple of centuries. Most of the other places in town that we've investigated, let's see, we had one in Saratoga. Saratoga was largely logging back in the day, or part of the logging trail anyway.
Yeah.
So that's possible, but as far as burial grounds go, that I don't think so. I mean, we have the Ohlone out here and the Miwok to a degree. As far as who occupied the land before the settlers came, or whatever, colonizers, whatever it is you want to call them. And they, I know there was an interesting thing that happened, especially when the missionaries came through, that a lot of the tribes actually moved their more permanent teepee, wigwam, whatever it is that we're using, more permanent structures around the missions.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything anywhere that's super haunted, it's probably the missions in California.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I know there's a couple of them. One's up here. You can't see where I'm pointing. Well, it's in a town called Fremont. It's very close by. Super haunted, from what I understand, and they're very protective of it, so they won't let anyone investigate.
Yeah, that sucks. What I was going to ask you, the follow up was, so with the residentials, in the certain areas that are maybe more active than the other, or in the different areas that you maybe have gotten calls to, do you find that the hauntings are different from each other, or are they a lot of the same?
Different enough, I guess. One, the one in Saratoga I mentioned is one of our bigger cases. That was primarily, it was a classic haunting. Had a poltergeist vibe to it too. So there was object manipulation. It had everything. It was object manipulation. It was they had full-bodied apparitions, phantom sounds and noises, and we witnessed those. Like, we got those on tape. That was pretty intense. We got the full-bodied apparition on tape too. We would have had the object manipulation on tape, but the camera's facing the wrong way, naturally. That was pretty cool too. That was a classic poltergeist move. Everything else was a little more haunt oriented. This was those 20, I think I mentioned this on your show, the 25-pound dog dishes that had the feeder with the water bottle and the big can of food. It's upside down and it gravity feeds into the wall. Yeah. Well, they had one of those for their dogs. And we're doing an EVP session in one of the bedrooms. And then we hear just this thing being dragged, because it's plastic, right? So it's making that vibrational kind of into the middle of the kitchen. And I mean the middle, dead center. Like, if my buddy Henry took measurements, he was this obsessed with where this thing landed. It was literally dead center of that kitchen. I mean, within a millimeter, it was there. And that's a classic poltergeist move. They just collect everything to the center, dead center of the room. True, it's a weird phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
I'm like, that's very true. Oh my God. Has there ever been a house call where you couldn't clear or help them, where you had to maybe get somebody more involved in church or?
Yeah. As one of the cases we actually kind of earsats failed at. It wasn't quite a failure on our part. It was kind of, well, let me tell you the story. Get a call not too far from me, but further from Henry and JJ. In fact, both of them were at work and couldn't take the call. I had just gotten off work, so I was able to take the call. And I go over there. Okay, I can do a prelim at least. And this guy had just gotten back from the Army, and he had his new wife and their little girl with him. And I guess I don't know how that situation happened, but that's what happened. And they're experiencing this weird demonic shadow thing that keeps attacking and menacing the little girl. And they thought she was being a little girl, new house, new location, yada, yada, yada. And that she was making it up. It was just her psychology trying to deal with a new place and all that stuff. Then they saw for themselves, and that's pretty much when I got a call. And as soon as I walk in the door, there's some poltergeist activity-ish. Again, it's object manipulation in the kitchen. I don't know what it is about the kitchen, but the kitchen always seems to come into play. And this coffee cup goes flying across the room. I hear it break as I'm knocking on the door, and I hear it crash. And it's like, oh, did I startle someone? What's going on? And so I opened the door and said, "You're not going to believe this. Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah, I did. Are you guys okay?" This coffee cup flew off the counter. And my first thought was she was washing dishes and she got that hovercraft effect. If you put a cup upside down, it'll actually float a little
It'll
bit.
move, yes. Yeah.
But this thing was across the kitchen, man. It hit the other wall and broke. I saw where it all landed. And yeah, auspicious start. Okay, walk me through it. I'm going to take some baseline stuff. And they show me all the hot spots. They have a lot of interesting things. One was there had been a recent death in the house. His father had passed, and he was acting especially odd. I mean, he had dementia anyway, but he was acting odder than he should have. He was having full conversations with someone behind in his room, right? And he always kept the door closed and locked. Sometimes even skip meals wouldn't come out for anything. And he says, whatever you do, don't go inside. It was weird because he seemed lucid whenever he'd interact with his family, but he still had this, apparent separation from sanity behind this door. And it was like he was arguing for his very soul.
Yeah.
The way this guy put it. Because some of the bits of conversation he'd hear would be like, no, this is my family, this is my place. You do not have permission to do that, yada, yada, yada. And along those lines. And then he passes, and that room, for whatever reason, I think we know the reason, is always ice cold now. Wow. Even on a hot summer day. At least at the time of this happening. So, and the door will always close itself and sometimes lock itself. But that's not the freakiest. That's not the freakiest thing. The freakiest thing was the shadow monster guy that came out of the garage at night and menaced this little family. And I said, okay, what have you done so far? Have you, the whole family's concerned because at least most of them have witnessed this and or heard noises coming from Dad's room. That's another thing. There were odd noises coming from Dad's room. And his mother is still there. The army guy's mother is still there. I think it's her house originally. And so she calls a priest, unbeknownst to him, has them come in, bless the house. And I get this information as I'm out the door. Okay, we're going to be back to, you had a priest here. Okay, and it didn't take. That's happened sometimes. Now I'm at a loss because you're dealing with a pretty significant input of outside energy, very concentrated too, from what I could feel. And there's crosses and pictures of Jesus and Mary everywhere. And I'm picking up on that too. It's like, okay, so mom's religious. She calls a priest. She has him out to bless the house. It calms down for a little bit, but it doesn't take. This guy wants me to come in. And mind you, this is before I get JJ on my team and wants me to clear it. I was like, okay, first off, you need to get your priest back here to reassert his blessing because you're dealing with that energy pushing against this evil force. You bring in a third party into this, you're going to cause more problems because it's going to fight back. And we've probably all seen that happen to one degree or another, or heard about it at least. And so you don't want to make things worse. So I'm sorry, you have to get your priest back here to re-bless the house and maybe even exorcise the house itself. And that's what you got to do. And he was so upset with me because he was anti-church. He's seen too much. Over wherever it was he was deployed. It wasn't Iraq, but
I get it.
Yeah, and I guess it faltered his faith. Made his faith falter, and he had wanted nothing to do with the church, and he was super upset with me. And he said, "Get out of my house," and I did. I said, "I'm sorry. I wish I could do more, but I can't."
Damn.
And that was my failure. Failure. I feel bad about that one. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. No, of course it makes me feel bad, but I mean, it's not, what can you do? It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Did you ever hear anything like any type of follow up at all, or?
No, I called them back once we got JG on the team too. I said, "Listen, I have a cleaner. She's willing to come out and tackle this thing, and she's proven herself to me." That's a great story too. So if you want a cleaner to come out, let me know. And I left like 3 or 4 messages over like 3 or 4 days, and nothing doing. So
yeah. Well, hopefully they find
I hope they found some peace. Yeah, I hope they figured it out.
Did you ever have any hitchhikers at least try to mess with you for trying to help families?
Can you repeat that last part? I'm sorry.
Like, have you ever encountered like anything following you back? Any hitchhikers for how like say entities know that you're gonna go to the house and help them, and sometimes they'll come and they'll mess with the people beforehand, try to stop that. So has anything happened like that with you, or like trying to attach itself after the fact and trying to mess with you before helping the family?
Not doesn't necessarily that like that, although I'll tell you about a shadow person. But before I say that, I will say every time I've gotten a call asking for help, the activity at the location ramps up. It goes bonkers for these poor people. And it's like 24 hours before I even get there. So they're living in hell. And I always hear something along the lines of, "Oh my God, last night was super active. We barely got any sleep," and yada, yada, yada. And, but I have ever had anything follow me home? No, I've been very fortunate. I've also been very protective, spiritually speaking. And JJ helped the team, everybody, boost that even further once we got her on the team. And so, yeah, it may seem a little silly to do the concentration thing, but it works. I swear by it. It works, So we've been pretty good about self-protection. I know sometimes she gets some stuff given that she deals with the spiritual almost constantly. But as far as uninvited guests, I think she's had a few. I had a shadow person show up at my place once, and it was the worst mistake of their life or unlife or whatever it is you want to call it. And because I get up, I have to use the restroom in the middle of the night, and I'm walking back after I'm done, and I see this hunched over old lady. I see hair, but it's black and black. You know what Vanta Black is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's that. It just sucked all the light out of the room, and it was just no reflection, nothing, just an outline, a very solid silhouette, hunched over to the old woman, and she kind of does this, and then like she's walking downstairs, she sinks into the foundation. I don't have a basement. Okay, and she sinks down the foundation. So I'm on the warpath. Oh, you're getting out of here now. And I get my UV light. For those who don't know, most spirits do not like UV light. I don't know why. It's something about the spectrum of the light. It hurts. Okay, it hurts them. So I'm out there. I do a full investigation of my own house, and I'm warning them, and I'm shining the light everywhere I can. It's like, I know you felt some of this. You want to feel it every single night? You come back and haunt me again. I freaking dare you. And nothing ever happened ever since.
It'd be great to have like one of those big ass spotlights of UV and just like like I can just see this and like hit every inch of the wall.
Yeah, man. Instead of a little light and going.
The only UV light I got is like to do my nails. Like that's all I got.
Yeah, right. right. We sometimes use it for vampire teeth too when we do films. Yeah.
So you mentioned so I'm assuming you're talking about like the bubble up method that she talks about. Is that what
the bubble method? Yeah, that helps a lot.
Do you want to kind of explain that a little bit?
Well, I don't want to steal her thunder, but I'll get into it a little bit. So basically, it's a little bit of breathing.
Again, don't worry.
Say again.
I said I'll have her repeat it again.
She'll probably explain it way better than I am too.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a little tiny meditation. You don't have to take. You just have to give yourself a little bit of time and focus, and out a couple of times. And you need to project a white light around you. Just imagine it. Okay. And because thoughts become reality a lot of times, especially if you give it enough focus and power. And so you got to put a white light around you. And then if you're dealing with something elemental, you got to put a green light around you as well, outside the white light. And if you're dealing with something, I think it's demonic, you put that blue light, like we were just talking about, UV-ish light around you as well.
Depending. So I didn't know about the additional colors. I obviously the white light or golden light, yes, but that's the first when it came to like green. I have heard blue, so I mean, yeah, definitely Archangel Michael and stuff. But anything about blue for like elementals or something else, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I think it was green for elementals. Just so they don't touch you. For whatever reason, green works. And basically, you're putting up a force field around yourself, and that's all you really need to do. If you want to add some words to it to empower it for your own benefit, go ahead. You can pray if you want to, whatever your religion may be. If you have a prayer of protection, why not institute that? Certainly won't hurt. But that's it. It's just a minor little meditation. It takes maybe anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds to do it if you do it right. If you have her lead you the first couple of times, in fact, she does it on her videos. Follow that, you'll get it pretty quick. It's pretty easy at least I did. I got it pretty quick.
I'm gonna have her like show me exactly. So when I've heard her talk about it, not that I've seen her demonstrate it, but I have heard her talk about it in her videos. She has a whole catalog of informative videos. So this is like a very old video that I'm talking about a couple years back.
Yeah.
So like how she described the best, and it's funny because so when you're she's talking about like she goes, imagine it like the Care Bears. Like Care Bears are shining, like doing the Care Bear share, but that's your solar plexus, right? And then so to me, I was like, bro, that makes so much sense, yes, because everything is through there, and so that's how kind of like how I do it.
Yeah. No, that works great. Maybe I misplaced it and misremembered it, but I thought it was from not so much the solar plexus, but from the gut area. That's where your ki or chi comes from.
It's there.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely the same thing.
Same diff. Okay.
Yeah. So that's good. And then it's also from there too. Like a lot of people, that's where they get attachments from. So that area is like very, you got to strengthen it, I guess.
You do. You really do, especially if you can be dealing with the spiritual and doing any sort of interaction or even combat, which I should tell you about that. For the first time ever in my career as a paranormal investigator, I got scared on our last case because whatever this weird God spirit, whatever the heck it was, or its antithesis, possibly, because we had a lot of stuff happening with that, charged me, and I felt it, and I snapped back like I was about ready to go into a fight with this thing. I even put my dukes up, It was like, oh my God, what the heck was that? And she said, don't worry, I stopped him. I saw him coming. It's like, I've never felt that before in my life. And it was, my back was to whatever this thing was. And have you ever been attacked from behind? You kind of feel it coming. Something shifts, your spidey sense goes off, whatever it is you want to call it. And you start ducking one way or another. And that's exactly what it was. I had that instinct, and I, gave myself a little bit of space, but I came up ready to duke it out with absolutely no one. No one was there, physically speaking. But it was the first time I actually got surprised and felt that slight rush of fear. It's like, wow, I didn't think I could stop this thing, but she did. Thankfully, she was there. So good times.
I had something very similar to that, and it was something here. It was in my own house. It was if anybody's heard something like this, it's so startling, and especially when it's in your own home, you're like, hell no. So I heard something charge up the stairs, like, and then hell no. I went out there, I did the same thing like you with that crouching 80. I was like, whatever's here, get the F out.
You're in trouble. Man, did you pick the wrong place to haunt?
Like, what the hell's going on? But I was awake. Like, I was awake. I don't know if I was on the phone. I was doing something. So, like, I heard it, but it was a whole bunch of stuff happening at that same time. And I think this was, it had to do with one of object of a friend of mine. So, it was theirs. Like, they wanted it back, and it was in my room, you know. So it led up. It was weird as hell. I came home from work, and I sensed something just like waiting for me, and I was like, and it was after that. I went up the stairs, and it went right up behind me, and then I was like, oh hell no. And then that I did the same thing. I was like, oh well, what happened? Forget about it. Woke up the whole house, you know.
Good times.
The object was given back.
Yeah, no, they wanted it back. So
they can have it back.
Yeah, please. I know. I was like, please take this shit back. You know.
Yeah, right.
They gave it to me as just a preventative. Like, hey, have this. It was a firearm. They're like, hey, have this for your house. You know, whatever you needed.
What's the history of the firearm?
No, I think that person they had a whole bunch of weapons. That was their thing.
Collection.
Yeah, they like to
But
go out.
was it a used weapon?
I mean, nah.
That is, did they buy it from someone else, like used?
Range,
just to practice, like out in range and stuff.
So that was its history.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's theirs. You know, they wanted and then they wanted it back, I guess, with their son. So that's something I could really figure out. But it was that. As soon as that, I dropped it back off. And I knew it was that. It was leading up to that, and I was like, oh my god, take it back, please. I don't need that. You know, whatever. But that is very scary.
That is frightening.
I mean, man, I can keep talking to you all day, but we got to end.
Gotcha.
So tell the folks where to find you, and then what you got coming up next, and about your show.
Fantastic. Well, my name is Tim Sudano, as it says so right there. My show is called Paranormal Insight. I can be found on YouTube under, and she put it on there too, Paranormal, at Paranormal, sorry. This is on YouTube, at Paranormal _Insight. That's YouTube. And then for what's that called? Instagram? Yeah, I promise. It's paranormal.insight. So why keep it consistent? That make your audience search, really want to find you. But if you get confused, more than anything, look for the green PI like you see up here in the corner. And you're in the right spot. My YouTube is a little goofy. If you want to see the latest and greatest, you got to go to the live tab, because it doesn't show up on the regular past videos thing. I don't know. YouTube hates me.
He has to go. Oh well, if you want to see the newest episodes, we have to click the live tab.
Oh yeah.
And it'll come up. Yeah, and if you guys go on there, you will see Jen and I as guests on Tim's show.
I think you were episode 30 or 31 or something like that. Or no, you were. It was later than that. Maybe it was 50 or 51. It was later. I know that much. So yeah, check them out. It was a good show. They went on for a whole half hour longer than what we did today.
Yeah. we did.
And she put the link up on the show, so that's a good place to go. What have I got coming up next? I want to look at, and I've been griping about this on my channel, and I really want to dive into the different alien species that are supposed to be visiting us.
Yeah,
we've heard a little bit about the Nordics.
Story I can I should shoot over to you.
Say that again.
I had like a weird experience, and it was like some in the middle of last year, and it stuck with me because I think something to it. I don't know, but I will talk to you about it and tell me what you're thinking, have your insights. But it has to do with alien related. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. But yeah, I want to dig into that. Why isn't that coming out in the UFO reports? All that fun stuff. So I kind of want to gripe about that a little bit. Not gripe, but check, dig into it.
I love that. I love the alien stuff. So
yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff.
All right. Well, Folks, thank you very much for tuning in.
And thank you, Tim. This has been fun.
Oh, my
Tim,
pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
The best way you guys can show us love is by showing love to our guests. So please make sure that you check out Tim. And like he said earlier, hit that live tab so you can see the latest and greatest, like he was saying.
Yes.
As far as for Jen and I, Spook Coast to Coast, we will be back next week live with Joy and Joey, we promise.
Nice.
And we will be back the week after. We will not be on because we will be at New Orleans Paracon.
Yes.
So if you guys,
you're going to Paracon in New Orleans, all right?
The very first one.
Our very first, not first Paracon, but first time going to New Orleans.
And that's their very first one.
And that's actually their very first Paracon.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I've been looking at that a little bit myself. I tried to get my boss to send me there, but he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, the rooming, like they had the packages were super cheap.
Yeah, they were very
cheap with the with the room included and everything, and I couldn't pass it up.
The admission and the room, and you're centralized to everything.
Yeah, you're right there. You don't even have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Is it in the French Quarter down there, or?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah, you have a lot of interesting guests lined up too. I mean, a lot of the speakers there are going to be very, very cool, and it's a wide spectrum of guests. Some of them are a little more modern, like me, and then there's the old voodoo priests and priestesses that are going to be there too. Oh man, I wish I were going. I'd love to chat them up forever.
I wish you would have went.
That would have been awesome if you would have went. A lot of the speakers there are close friends of ours too, so we're just excited to get to see them in person.
Exactly, good to see them again.
Yeah, for sure. When is it again? Maybe I can.
Not this weekend, the weekend after.
So basically,
the 31st.
The 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Worth checking out. See if I can get out there in 2 weeks.
Do it. Everybody else do it too.
No peer pressure.
No.
Guys, so yeah, we will be there in a couple of weeks. So if you guys want to come over and check us out, we will be there. And as always, please remember, if you want to get spooked, hit that notification bell, the like button, and please feel free to comment on this episode. Tell your friends, tell your family, watch Spook Coast to Coast. We will see you guys live next week.
That's right. Bye.
Take care, everyone.